经闻到了啊，早饭的味道。前面我也看到油条。
对，这是我们清河的早市，附近的那些农户们，他们可以把新鲜采摘下来的食物，可以来这会儿卖去。
也是早饭
对，
过来的，
可以在这会儿
是卖菜。
啊，对。那咱们先做整着吧，叉条。放在这个桌子上。
哦，吃的
我第一次吃的，我没吃过。但它是
这是过水的，那里捞出来的有不过水的。
啊，这是火勺
啊，
这是油炸糕。
油炸糕。中午还吃吗？
中午咱们有更好吃的。
Northerners have a reputation for friendliness, in China as well as England. Li Jia invites me back to his family home. Generations of the Li family have worked at the power plant, and his dad, now retired, works with his mom at their dried goods store.
爸，别着急忙慌的，咱稳扎稳打，慢慢整。
你不回来，俺俩成天忙。你回来还有时候还不帮俺。
能说点正能量的？
哪有正能量的？我们北方人全克，就是这是坚果嘛，它就硬。
哦，哎，这样也行。
这就可以煎羊吃。
这样可以算命吗？哦，太棒了，这样。
这是我们当地是最好的。
我这个我可以是一整天都可以一直吃，高兴得很嘛，应该是。
也高兴。
你儿子还在，没有到别的地方。
也想让他去好一点的地方，但是当时他在呼和浩特念的书，呼和浩特那边有8台60万机组，我们清河电厂2台60万，那相差多大？但是我们回来了，我说你既然回来了，就干好。如果你工作你干不好，我就觉得挺不好意思。那个，哎呀，就是我父亲在那也是就是一个工人，我也是一个工人。我儿子呢，就是我感觉到也圆了我一个小梦，就是现在呢，他也都做的挺好。
你是哪一年的出生的？
我是68的。
68的，比我大5岁。
87年年底我参加工作啊。
参加工作啊？那你在那里第一份工作是什么呢？
我就始终做金属检测。
就像人在医院里面做 B 超和 CT 这种检测你的病灶的一样。
哦，你们也有 B 超去做的？
他相当于是给设备做 B 超。
我是铁医生。
铁医生。
给金属检测它的毛病。
你家有做过这样的工作吗？你爸爸？
我没参加工作之前，我父亲就在电厂工作。
爸爸是第一个考出去了，就开始做电厂了。
对。
哦，所以你爸爸是很勇敢。
那他最早呢，我们家是我听说的，都不知道，说山东过来的。
山东。
闯关东过来的。
农业的是吧？山东的。
应该是哥几个过来了，后边还走丢一个。
哦。
这都不知道了。
Talking about the Li family history gets me thinking. A few years back, I was working on a film called The Six about the Chinese survivors of Titanic that involved searching a lot of family trees. Around that time, my mum got interested in exploring our family history too.
Can I show you a photo of something?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that's your mum's mum.
Yeah. It is.
Your grandma.
Yeah, and you will have seen a photo.
But I don't know what her name is.
She's called Dinah. So this is your grandfather.
Okay.
Who is called Arthur.
Arthur. This is the Arthur.
This is Arthur. This is original Arthur. Okay. See, that's Arthur. They're both dressed up, you see. He's got a smart suit on.
They just got married here? Or?
Well, I'm thinking it might be either marriage or an engagement, because you'd only have a photo taken for a special occasion when you're not upper class.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's his job?
Okay, so Arthur comes from a mining family, so we start with that.
Right.
We're talking that Maltby area.
South Yorkshire?
Yes, South Yorkshire.
Where I was born.
Rotherham, that's right, you were born Doncaster. He wasn't quite as much of a miner as his father and uncles and grandfather. I'll show you them in a moment.
Right.
He actually joined the army as a young man.
Right.
And I'm speculating it was probably to avoid initially going down the pit like everybody else. So, yes, mining's certainly there in the family.
So the mining goes back at least from Arthur, if we call him the last miner, although
Yes.
he's working the coal work. So 1750s through till 1940s. Almost 200 years.
Yeah. Arthur is Arthur Chisholm.
So your mum is Chisholm, but from that name Chisholm, we
Scottish
know
clan, of course.
that it's a Scottish name.
Yes.
There's a sort of push out of Scotland.
Yeah.
A lot of Scots were being forced to leave.
Because the textiles industry was very strong and they needed more wool to supply the
And that's
mills.
early industrial revolution in Scotland, isn't
Yeah.
it? The landlords were clearing off space to basically
put sheep.
on it.
Yes, it must have been a huge shock to the system, you know, from the wilds of Scotland hunting deer or whatever down to, first of all, the northeast and the mines, and then down to the West Riding and the mines.
My ancestor travelled down from Scotland during the early stages of the Industrial Revolution to find work, just as Li Jia's ancestors left Shandong province for Liaoning many decades ago. It's strange to think how our lives are shaped by things that happened generations before we were born. If my great-great-great-grandfather hadn't moved from northern Scotland down to Yorkshire, would my parents ever have met? Would I have been born? If my great-grandfather hadn't moved on from the mines, would I have ended up coming to China and changing everything again for all my descendants? Big lump of coal.
Yeah.
So this is sort of miners' strike stuff. Oh, the pits. Oh, it's a piece of art. Okay.
Yes.
Coal not dole.
Yeah,
Did you
that
wear a
was
coal
there.
not gold sticker?
I didn't, sadly. I wish I had one.
Coal, the nation's energy future. Look at that. Save it with the NUM.
Yes, that's what you thought coal would go on forever.
Yes,
It would
yes.
supply everything we needed for the future. How times have changed.
Yes.
They've planted on it this massive estate full of people who have come from all over the country.
Yeah.
Right, now, you take away the pit,
Yeah.
and you'd think, in a historical context, that what would happen was that people would go and find work elsewhere. But there wasn't any work elsewhere.
Yeah.
There was no reason for the town even being there.
Paul Davenport is an old college mate of my parents.
Hull is there.
They studied teaching together in Doncaster in the early 1970s.
Never a separate job.
Paul was a teacher in a mining community during the strike and felt its effect on his students' lives.
I was at that time, I started off, as you know, as a drama teacher, and we were invited to perform one of our works at the Place Theatre in London, which is just in Euston. It's quite a big deal because it's one of the prime dance venues in the UK. The thing about it was, it's in the middle of the miners' strike. One girl who lived down in Hellaby, she came into school in tears one day, and she said, "I can't go to London. My dad's on strike. We can't afford it." Okay, fine. Get yourself changed. You got a rehearsal. So I went to see our boss. Now, our boss was a man called George Morris. He was a Londoner, and he said, "What's the girl's name?" I said, he had this classical lines, "Leave it with me." And people used to go, "Oh God," he said, "Leave it with me." It's the following morning, and he said, "Come here, Paul." He said, that girl," mentioned her name, he said, "She's going to London." I said, "Oh, that's great. How's it?" He said, "The NUM is paying for it."
Oh, wow.
Now, so this was
Amazing.
This was the Billy Elliot story.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And she was paid for. The NUM said, "No, there's a point to be proven here.
Yeah.
We're not a set of savages. We've got culture. We have talent. We have sensitivities. Yeah. So the NUM paid for it.
That's amazing.
That's great.
That's amazing.
Isn't it? It really is lovely.
Yeah.
what was the buzz in '84? Were people already saying, "Well, we're going on strike"? Was it sort of the?
I've no idea.
Yeah.
No idea. The only people I dealt with from the mining community on a daily basis were their children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you'd see kids come in looking less than they should, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of bounce went out of children. It was hard, and it's I still get very emotional.
Thinking about it, yes.
It's
Yeah.
it was dreadful.
The end of it, yeah.
There's a folk song
That
that I
topic I
absolutely
knew.
love, and I thought about every time as we came past the Trimden sign, and oh, let's not think on tomorrow, lest we disappointed be. Our joys may turn to sorrow, as we all may daily see. Today we're strong and healthy, but how soon may come the change.
英国全国煤炭委员会昨天宣布，1985年开工的第一天，英国东北部地区又有4座矿井开始恢复生产。但是，全国矿工委员会否认了这个数字，他们还表示将坚持斗争，直到最后的胜利。